Electrolysis and industrial equilibrium share a habit of testing the same wrong instinct, assuming what should happen instead of checking what actually does. Dissolve salt in water and try to extract sodium metal at the cathode. The wrong ion gets discharged every single time, and there's a real reason why. A catalyst speeds a reaction up, and the automatic assumption is that it must have shifted the equilibrium too. It hasn't, not even slightly. And two industrial processes, taught back to back, with conditions that get swapped between them more often than almost anything else in the syllabus. 4 ideas, 1 shared instinct to unlearn. Let's start with electrolysis, and a question that trips up almost everyone the first time. Electrolyze aqueous sodium chloride, a solution containing sodium ions and chloride ions dissolved in water, so hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions are present too, from the water itself. At the cathode, common sense says sodium should come out since sodium chloride is what went in. It doesn't. Hydrogen is discharged instead because hydrogen is less reactive than sodium. And in aqueous electrolysis, the less reactive ion is the one that actually gets discharged at the cathode. Sodium stays dissolved in solution. At the anode, a similar rule applies to negative ions. Unless the halide ion is at a high enough concentration, oxygen from the water gets discharged instead of the halide. The electrolyte is simply the liquid or solution that conducts the current and gets broken down. But which ion actually gets discharged depends on relative reactivity, not on which compound you started with. Once you know which ion is discharged, the next skill is writing that down correctly, the half equation and which way the electrons are actually moving. At the cathode, positive ions arrive and gain electrons. That's reduction happening at the cathode. At the anode, negative ions arrive and lose electrons. That's oxidation happening at the anode. Electroplating uses this directly. To plate an object with copper, the object being plated is the cathode, because that's where the metal ions gain electrons and get deposited as solid metal onto the surface. The anode, meanwhile, is made of the plating metal itself, which dissolves into the solution to keep replacing the ions being used up. Get cathode and anode swapped in an electroplating question, and the whole answer runs backwards. Now, a conceptual gap that isn't really about electrolysis at all, but sits right next to it in most syllabuses. The difference between how fast a reaction happens and where its equilibrium actually sits. A catalyst speeds up a reaction. That part is well known. What gets assumed far too often is that speeding up the reaction must also shift the equilibrium, pushing it toward more product. It doesn't. A catalyst speeds up the forward and the reverse reaction by exactly the same amount. So the position of equilibrium, the actual ratio of reactants to products once the reaction settles, stays completely unchanged. All a catalyst does is get you to that same equilibrium position faster. Rate and position of equilibrium are answering two completely different questions. One last precision point, and it's purely about not letting two industrial processes blur into each other: the Haber process and the contact process. The Haber process makes ammonia, nitrogen plus hydrogen, in equilibrium at around 450 degrees Celsius, 200 atmospheres of pressure, using an iron catalyst. The contact process makes sulfuric acid, and its key equilibrium step converts sulfur dioxide into sulfur trioxide at a similar 450 degrees Celsius, but at a much lower pressure, only 1 to 2 atmospheres, using a vanadium oxide catalyst, not iron. Same rough temperature in both, which is exactly why the pressure and the catalyst are what actually distinguish them, and exactly where the two get cross-wired in an exam. Quick practice first. During the electrolysis of aqueous sodium chloride, state the gas produced at the cathode and explain why. Hydrogen. Hydrogen is less reactive than sodium, and in aqueous electrolysis, the less reactive ion is the one discharged at the cathode. The sodium ions stay dissolved in solution. Now, a full exam-style question, tying together everything in this lesson. Part A. An object is electroplated with silver. State which electrode the object is connected to and explain, in terms of electrons, what happens there. Part B. A catalyst is added to a reversible reaction, and equilibrium is reached faster. State the effect this has on the amount of product formed at equilibrium and explain your answer. Part C. State one similarity and one difference between the conditions used in the Haber process and the contact process. Part D. Molten lead bromide is electrolyzed using inert electrodes. Describe what happens at the cathode in terms of the lead ions and their charge. Part A. The object is connected as the cathode, where the silver ions arrive, gain electrons, and are deposited as solid silver onto the surface. Part B. No effect on the amount of product. A catalyst speeds up the forward and reverse reactions equally, so the position of equilibrium doesn't move. Only the time taken to reach it changes. Part C. Similarity. Both run at a similar temperature, around 450 degrees Celsius. Difference. The Haber process uses much higher pressure with an iron catalyst, while the contact process uses far lower pressure with a vanadium oxide catalyst. And Part D. Each lead ion carries a 2+ charge, and at the cathode, it gains 2 electrons to form solid lead metal. So, 4 ideas. 1 shared instinct corrected each time. Selective discharge. The less reactive ion is discharged, not the one from the compound you started with. Half equations. Gain electrons at the cathode, lose electrons at the anode. And in electroplating, the object being plated is always the cathode. Rate versus equilibrium position. A catalyst speeds up both directions equally, so the position never moves. And Haber versus contact. Same rough temperature, different pressure, different catalyst. Iron for ammonia, vanadium oxide for sulfuric acid. I've put all 4 in the notes. Revise it on StudyRevise while it's fresh.